Hey, hey, we are live. Jennie from the Block here again, here with Ali Davar from the CAZA Group. How are you doing today, Ali?
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Jenny from the
Good.
Block.
Yeah, that's me. Awesome. Well, today we are talking about how to create a consistent and predictable six-figure business in real estate. Obviously, let's jump right into it. Obviously, you focus a lot on training new agents as well as, training real estate agents that want to kind of take a next level in their real estate business.
Mhm.
So obviously with new agents or even individuals that kind of want to take their business to the next level, what is the thing that you kind of start with? Like how does somebody start in real estate? What kind of tips and tricks can do you
Absolutely.
know?
Great question. So, we meet with a lot of new agents or agents that are trying to take their business to the next level. And they ask, like, they're mainly focusing on ideas like, hey, what should I do, rather than, I think that really the first things are know the numbers, right? This is a numbers game. This is a game where you need to know, what do I need to do in order for me to create consistent and predictable income? How do I run this business so I can predict my income coming in every month? So I need to know the numbers and be able to work them backwards. For example, what I mean by that is, if I want to make a certain amount of money, let's say, for example, I want to make $100,000 a year in income. I need to figure out how many homes do I have to sell in order to accomplish that. I need to know how many transactions I need to do. However, that might be a difficult number to track on a regular basis, because a lot of times when we meet with somebody, it's a long time before our efforts are actually paid off. It might take a month, 2 months, 3 months. Usually it's really a 3-month cycle. So it's better to actually measure something that I can look at daily or weekly and say, am I hitting my goal? And that's the number of appointments. I need to know how many conversations I need to have. I need to know how many appointments I need to go on, talk to somebody about buying or selling their home in order to get to a transaction. So just real quick, at our team, we use, for example, every home that you want to sell, you need to go on 4 appointments on average in order for you to get one deal. And in order to get one appointment, we see typically for a newer agent, we need to have about 50 conversations to end up having an appointment. And that might seem like a high number, but the way it really works is, you're really talking about buying or selling. You're talking about real estate in general. And once you have like 50 conversations, on average, you end up getting an appointment. That could be, I might have 47 conversations with everybody, nothing comes out of it, and I might have somebody that calls me and asks me to go and help them buy a home. So on average is about 50 conversations.
Awesome. So obviously to get these appointments, working these numbers, agents have all these ideas. They want to talk to this person. They want to talk to this person. They want to plan this event. They want to do this in marketing, and they're all over the place. So how do you kind of guide agents to focus on doing a couple things instead of doing like everything, and their brain is kind of all over the place?
Yeah, exactly. That's a very common distraction that everybody has, that, hey, there's all of these ideas, these things that look great and sound great that I want to do, and they actually like feel good doing them. But it's about working a plan. So it's important to, hey, I know my numbers. I need to create a plan and work that plan. So what we do with all of our agents that join the team, for example, we help them develop their own personal business plan. The plan is really designed for me to know, when I get up in the morning, what I'm supposed to be doing today, right? So the way I would work the plan is, again, starting with the numbers and working it backwards. Hey, I want to make this much money. I want to make $100,000. I need to sell, for example, 10 homes, and I need to go on 40 appointments. How many is that in a week? How many work weeks a year am I going to work? And then how many appointments do I need on average on a weekly basis? How many conversations do I have to have on a daily basis? Then I will work on really having maybe 3 priorities that I would have, that I'm going to focus on getting my leads. Where are my leads? Where is my business going to come from? I'm going to focus on 3 really pillars that's going to help my move my business forward. And for some people, it might be less than 3. It's under these 3 pillars. What am I doing on a daily basis to help these move forward? Let's say, for example, I might be doing, hey, I want to do a lot of social media. I want to grow my business on social media. Or I might be, hey, with my group of people, with my clientele, my sphere, here's what I'm going to do on a regular basis to help build a brand and move my business forward. So it's about creating that plan, putting the ideas on paper. I think at that point, it's really about sticking to it and working it. And if something doesn't work out, you can review it and change a little bit, maybe if necessary, after a good amount of time. What I see with a lot of agents is they try something and really quickly they want to give up on it, or they want to change it, or they want to go back to a new idea. So it's about continuing to work that plan, because a lot of things actually take time for fruition and come to for you to see the results.
So obviously you can have a plan, right? Everybody can have a plan, but how do you schedule that plan throughout the day? You know, obviously we talk a lot about time blocking, but like, what does that even mean? Like, what is a kind of traditional time block? What are time blocks that you suggest, you know, with agents that you train? You know, what does that even mean, or suggestions around time blocking?
Yeah, good question. Time blocking is like literally the key to success in this business. And I feel like we've heard that word so many times, and we hear that concept so many times that it's like, oh, he's talking about time blocking again, right? But it's really about, it's a commitment, it's an appointment that you made to yourself. So my plan might say, I'm going to hold X number of open houses, right? So I need to block that. When am I going to do that open house? When am I going to find an open house to hold? On my plan, I might have a time that, hey, I'm going to talk to 10 people a day, or I might talk to 20 people a day. When am I doing that? The reason for time blocking, making that commitment ahead of time, is in this business, or actually in life, anything we're doing, things come up. And then a day passes by and we realize I didn't do what I was supposed to do. Or I said I'm going to do an open house and it's Friday and I forgot to find one. And now tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, it's too late. I'll do it next week. And then the pattern starts that, hey, I said I'm going to do this, but it just is not happening. So time blocking is really getting the calendar out. I think the whole purpose of doing the plan is to actually put it in my calendar. Hey, I said I'm going to do this, this, and that. When in my calendar am I going to say I'm going to do that? From there on, it's really treating it like an appointment that you made to yourself, with yourself, and showing up and holding yourself accountable with that. You know, Jenny, I think the way to think around that is what I see will happen a lot of times in this business. When somebody gets in this business, we have the freedom of time. We can do anything at any time, right? It's really an illusion of freedom of time, because if we want to be successful, we have to have a schedule. Yeah. So if you had a job, you'll be used to having a schedule. I see people that are really worried about being a minute late to a job they had, but they don't show up to the appointment they made with themselves. Hours and days go by. So I think it's important to think, if I was working for someone else, when I look at my previous jobs, am I working as hard as I used to work for someone else for myself? So if you think about time blocking like that, you know, this is still a job. I have a schedule. This is a commitment. And if I want to be successful, I have to make a commitment. It's a really mental shift that would help.
Yeah. I mean, do you think, obviously time blocking is hard. You kind of get the, being in real estate, it's a flexible career, right? You have the flexibility, you know, obviously people think that, but like you said, you need to time block your time. You know, what are other common mistakes people make, you know, starting a real estate business?
Sure. I mean, besides, I think also maybe jumping around too many between ideas, right? Like, I'm going to do a little bit of this, and then all of a sudden getting excited about something else that we see that maybe someone else is doing. I was listening to a video recently by one of the founders of Netflix, and he said something that really stuck with me. And I kind of looked back at some of the things we do in our business, because we get used to doing so many things that we think work, and this is the only way of doing it, and being really rigid about, like, this is the way it should be done, rather than being flexible. So what he was saying is, ideas are worthless. And what he's really talking about is because you really don't know if that idea is going to work or not until you try it. For example, Netflix, everybody thought it was stupid till it became a $100 billion company.
Of course.
So, however, a lot of times I see people fall in the trap of what we call like feel good marketing. I'm doing things that make me feel good, that look good. I'm working on a website. I'm working on a piece of marketing that I'm going to send out, rather than really looking at what is going to move the needle forward, right? So the common mistakes I see is, hey, I made the plan based on proven track record of everything that I see that I know works. But instead, I'm jumping around and doing other things because I feel like if I do this, it might work and it makes me feel good when I do it a little bit. So I think stick with the plan, try it for a long time. If it doesn't work, there should be times where I'm going to sit down and review the plan. But until then, I'm 100% committed to doing what I said I'm going to do. I think that's a very common mistakes besides time blocking and not having a plan.
Yeah. So how do you amplify that? Like, how do you amplify your efforts? Can you talk a little bit, obviously, chasing business versus attracting business?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So we talked about this a little bit in the past with each other that, hey, in the beginning, when you get in this business, we're chasing business. We're going anywhere, everywhere to get business. We need the experience. We need the exposure. We're building a brand. What we need to be aware of really from day one is that I'm here to build a brand to one day attract business. So we talked about, hey, it takes 50 conversations to get to an appointment. And that might sound exhausting. Like, how am I going to talk to that many people that often, that regularly? So it really becomes, how do I actually do one thing and use that to multiply my efforts? How do I build a brand? How do I make my efforts stack on each other, right? For example, there's many ways of really thinking about how you're going to do that. But for example, we're here creating a piece of content, right? We're going to post this content on social channels. We could take the same thing and put it on YouTube, put it on a email newsletter that's going out. We could take clips of it and use it later, right? For our, like, say, social media story. This is just an example of like your efforts are, you're doing one thing and using it in multiple ways. Also, I think we talk a lot in our team about really giving back to the community and being a hyper local, geographically focused real estate agents who know the area best. So if I was going to do, maybe my plan says I'm going to do open houses, this many. I'm going to go after properties that haven't sold and target those, and I'm going to go do door knocking or do a community event. What if I do all of them in the same area? What if I let my efforts stack? I will build a brand much faster. So I think anything we do, we think about, how do I use this success and use it multiple times, and being really cognizant that I'm here to build the brand so I attract people. So down the road, I'm not making 50 calls to get an appointment. It's 25, it's 20, because I'm getting people that are being referred to me. I'm having repeat clients, as long as I can systematically stay in touch with everyone and keep that relationship.
Yeah. And obviously, so kind of last question for you. Obviously, you talked a little bit about hyperlocal. For any of you who are interested in learning more about hyperlocal, I did do a video with Rob Chavez. But to kind of go off hyperlocal and, we're always about building community impact. For you specifically, obviously, you focus a lot on the Reston, Virginia market. So, how do you, provide community impact for the community in Reston, specifically for your business?
Specifically for our business, we look at every opportunity that we could do something meaningful for the community through giving back to the community, either our clients, the neighbors, or charity work. So for example, we have a food drive that's coming up. Actually, July 31st will be the day that we're picking up. Ahead of that, we're going out and dropping off food bags for our neighbors who are collecting food items for a local charity in the area. That's an example of something that we're doing in the community. We just did a shred event for the neighbors, where we invited the neighborhoods to come out and shred any unwanted documents. But I think it's really about looking at what I can genuinely do for the community. I need to be somewhere that I could love this neighborhood. I see myself living here. This is a community I'm gonna give back to and love for a long time. And then thinking about what I can do to actually be meaningful in the community. For us, it's really giving back to our neighbors through the events we do, giving back to our past clients, but also really doing charity work for the local community that's here.
That's awesome. Awesome. Always good events, definitely in the area. Just wanted to read a couple comments that we got. Emily said, hold yourself accountable. Yes, so simple, but so impactful. Elise, good morning, you amazing duo. So good morning, Elise. Patrick, love that idea. Ellie, really treat your own important tasks as an appointment. And then Emily, again, are you working as hard for yourself as you have for other people? So just wanted to give a little bit of those shout outs. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Ali. I really appreciate you taking some time to talk to me today. Obviously, I am Jennie from the Block. If any of you guys do have real estate needs or any other real estate questions or training or anything that Ali talked about, definitely reach out to me. And if any of you guys are interested in learning more about real estate or real estate career, you know where to find me. Stay tuned to next week. And I hope you all have a good day. Thanks, Ali.
Thank you, Jennie. You rock.
Bye.